Hey guys, it's Coach Allen and I'm here with Coach Christian, and we want to address a topic that we get a lot as professional basketball performance coaches, and that's how to get in great basketball shape, how to get in peak basketball conditioning, because being in peak basketball shape, as many of you know, is not the same as being in peak football shape, or insert the name of any other sport. So when I say, how do you get in great basketball shape, what are the first few things that kind of come to mind for you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, obviously the quickest way and the best way to get into specific basketball shape is playing basketball, right? And is continuously playing at a level that you feel comfortable with, that you would play in a game, right? But obviously, then we start talking about overuse injuries, right? A lot of knee stuff, a lot of shoulder stuff, a lot of low back stuff. So it's very important that, yes, we are playing, game speed games, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, or whatever it may be, but also finding a well-rounded program outside of the basketball court that will help serve you. So, for example, I would see weight training being a piece of that, right? I would then seeing a long, steady state aerobic day or a cardio day as being a very important day. But then also just how is your movement quality, right? So kind of just like big three right there. Our weights, our movement quality, how well do we land, how well do we change direction, and then how well is our cardiorespiratory, right? How well is our cardio fitness, and how well is that going to allow us to kind of play on the court?
Love it. What are some things you recommend outside of just running? So what are some of these other modalities that someone can work on their cardiovascular system and so forth?
Right, so using sub-maximal weight, so not like a 1 rep max or anything close to that, but using some maximal weights and then putting them in a circuit, right? So maybe on one movement, it is, we already do a lot of squatting, we already do a lot of jumping in basketball, so maybe we start doing a little bit more posterior chain focus. Maybe we're deadlifting, right? And then maybe we're doing some good mornings, maybe we're doing some hip bridges with weights, and then maybe the drill right after, maybe we do 30 seconds on the first drill, and the next drill is, again, we're doing an upper body drill. Maybe we're pressing now, or maybe we're pulling, we're going for 30 seconds, and then we jump to another lower body. Maybe we're doing a single leg drill there, and then we do maybe an upper body. So we got 4 different drills that are kind of speaking to 4 different areas of the body, and we're doing them one right after the other, and then taking a break after those rounds right there, right? So it's still helping us tell our body, hey, we can use those big muscle fibers that don't really get spoken to until like the end of the game, when you're a little bit more fatigued. We can start to turn them on with some weight and some resistance right off the bat.
Love it. Now, if someone wanted to do something like biking or swimming or something in the pool, what are some ways to make those modalities more basketball specific, so that you're not literally just treading water, but you're actually doing something to improve your cardiovascular fitness for basketball?
100%. So I would look at it as really like a spectrum, right? And either one, steady state. So I'm thinking steady state, I'm thinking very low intensity. So I'd be able to have a conversation with somebody, but for a longer duration. So if it's the pool, maybe I'm treading water, or maybe I'm just swimming laps from side to side for about 30 to 45 minutes, right? And maybe I'm doing that at an intensity that, again, allows me to still breathe and talk at a high level, right? And then if it's not that steady state for a longer duration, maybe it's shorter duration work. So maybe it's 6 to 10 seconds of like an all-out work, like on the bike or in the pool, but then we're allowing for sufficient time to recover. Because during that recovery time, we're actually still working on our aerobic system. Our aerobic system is allowing our body to recover in between those high intensity bouts. So if you're not doing something with high intensity, or you're not doing something for a longer duration at a low level, then chances are it might not carry over to the court in a way that we would like for it to.
Gotcha. When we're looking big picture at everything a player needs to do, where does the conditioning puzzle piece fit in? So they've got their strength work, they've got their skill work, they want to study film, they've got all of these components of being a great player. What part does conditioning take, and how much of that puzzle should it take?
Well, I think that's where the art of coaching kind of comes in, right? And having like a good coach on your side. A smart coach will understand that we don't need to make more time for a basketball conditioning level. If we're already getting court and skill work, then we can construct those drills so that they're either short, intense bouts that have enough recovery time in between reps, or it's a long, steady state, right? Or it's a drill that takes about 3 to 5 minutes, and then it's maybe a soft break between, again, another 3 to 5 minute deal. So it's just really, again, trying to speak to both ends on the spectrum. Short intensity bouts, right? Or longer duration bouts at a lower intensity.
Love that. You know, one of the questions we get all the time, or it's almost rather a complaint, is players say, well, I don't have someone to rebound for me. That's actually a gift, because not having someone to rebound for you inherently builds in the conditioning component. So you want to make sure that you have perfect footwork and perfect technique when you're going through your shot, and that you focus on feet to follow through, that shot is perfect. But whether you make it or miss it, you can use the conditioning component of sprinting to go get the ball before you enter into your next shot. So I actually find that from a conditioning standpoint, going to a court or to a gym and shooting by yourself, as long as you're taking game shots from game spots at game speed, you're going to get a nice combination of a conditioning component as well as the skill component. So don't look as not having a rebounder as an excuse or a complaint. Actually look at it as a benefit or a gift, because it allows you to build in the conditioning. Anything else you can think of from a conditioning standpoint that players need to get in peak basketball shape?
You know, a great technique, right, that might be able to be utilized during your longer duration workouts, because I know sometimes people will say it's boring, right? I don't really want to be running or doing these drills here for 30 to 45 minutes, is trying to utilize your nose while you're breathing. So not allowing your mouth to open and only using your nose will kind of make it more of a game, right? Especially if you've got a partner with you. Maybe we're saying, hey, who can go the longest with just using our nose to breathe? And not only is it just something that looks cool and sexy, but it actually has some scientific benefit into your body being able to utilize oxygen more efficiently. And that's ultimately what cardio is all about.
I love it. Keep in mind, as a player, there's very few things that you have complete control over, but showing up on day one of tryouts or day one of practice in the best basketball shape possible is absolutely something that you have very heavy influence on. So hopefully this conversation and Q&A gave you some nuggets to think on and some things that you can do to make sure that you get in great basketball shape.